There's a lot of brothers and sisters that's been having discussions about people with dual allegiances, especially people who are in positions like Congress, whether they're mayor, whether they're any kind of political position. And the reason why they question about a dual allegiance is because we notice in those positions, they look out for the foreign flag a lot of times more than the flag they live under. It makes sense? So a lot of Black Americans are starting to say, should we be even electing people to have dual allegiances and don't have an allegiance to the United States? Case in point, one of y'all favorite Congresswomen, Yvette Clarke out of New York, Brooklyn to be exact. Now, she's going to be talking about Jamaican Heritage, Day and all of that and the celebration. And hey, shout out to Jamaica. I have no problem with Jamaica. I love my brothers and sisters in Jamaica. We got Sister Whitney and Sister Kalila working with us out of Jamaica. And shout out to both of those sisters that help work with us here. But Yvette Clarke is a representative here, and she's not even in Jamaica talking about Jamaica. But we'll get into having that conversation. But I want you to hear exactly what she said, but it's something she's going to really say that's going to probably perk your ears up like the dogs, how their ears get perked up when they hear certain things. Well, let's go ahead and check out this clip.
It is with immense pride, honor, and respect that I extend to you my heartfelt greetings on the occasion of the 63rd anniversary of the independence of the abundantly blessed nation of Jamaica, her people, and our diaspora. I am Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke, and I proudly represent New York's 9th Congressional District, known for its very diverse communities in Central and Southwest Brooklyn, New York, and is commonly referred to as the 15th Parish of Jamaica. I am also chairwoman of the historic United States Congressional Black Caucus for the 119th session of Congress, as well as a braggadocious, boasty, unapologetically proud Jamaican American. There's no doubt that the indelible impact of Jamaican culture and the legendary work ethic, not to mention the enormous intellectual, creative, and innovative contributions that continue to be made by diasporan families in the development of the United States, that the Rock has produced some extraordinary people who are capable of blazing a trail of excellence. Jamaican Americans have done their part in the shaping of American civil society, and Jamaica continues to punch above her weight, or as we say, with liquor, but with talawa. Jamaica must give thanks to the ancestors for the DNA that has enabled a nation of strong people, strong in will and strong in faith. And history continues to record that the presence of the diaspora, Jamaicans, their descendants, who've made tremendous contributions in service, entrepreneurship, and finances, continue to have a profound impact on the land of their birth, as well as the communities they serve and support nationwide right here in the United States. History is recording our profound impact on societies overall. Wherever Jamaicans have found themselves in the world, they have made their presence known through their sheer brilliance. Happy 63rd Independence Day, Jamaica. May the people of the island nation of Jamaica and their government continue to strive toward a unity of purpose and continue to build upon the legacy of tenacity, ingenuity, courage, and bravery that is so widely known by people the world over. One love, bless up, and walk good.
All right, that's your Congressional Black Caucus leader, actually, Jamaican American Yvette Clarke, Yvette D. Clarke, actually. And so the question we need to have here is that, listen, once again, I have no issues with Jamaica. I'm cool with my Jamaican brothers and sisters, but we're talking about political issues in the United States. when we have our Congress people advocating for foreign governments, no matter if they're Jamaica, Israel, no matter where they're from, we should not be having any Congress people advocating for foreign governments. Should not be having that. You should be advocating for what's going on here and advocating for Black America, which that includes everybody in Black America. If you come from the diaspora, let's call it what it is. Whether you call yourself Black or not, you're going to be included in anything that's going to be related to Black America. But when people have dual allegiances, and we hear her definitely have a dual allegiance because she's always talking about immigration. Immigration is not a benefit to Black Americans. Immigration has been used to have not only cultural erasure, but also economic erasure of Black Americans. And anyone who's promoting unchecked immigration into the United States, bringing them to Black communities. It wasn't too long ago, this same woman said she wanted more immigrants in her district so she can get votes.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have a diaspora that can absorb a significant number of these migrants. And when I hear colleagues talk about, the doors of the inn being closed, no room in the inn, I'm saying, I need more people in my district, but just for redistricting purposes. And those members could clearly fit here.
This woman is so pro-immigration, but I had never hear her talk about anti-Black hate crime bill. I never hear her talk about the police and what they're doing. I don't hear her talking about qualified immunity. I for sure don't hear this woman ever speak a word about fighting to get cash payment reparations. But when it comes to immigration, she's front and center. Why? Because she has a dual allegiance. She has more allegiance with immigrants than with Black Americans from this soil. Because we're not immigrants. We didn't immigrate here. Okay? Now, she's a first generation. Her parents is the one that immigrated here, but she still feel an allegiance to a foreign country outside of America. And see, the deal is, it's not xenophobia or nothing. It's just the fact is we cannot have someone have a dual allegiance in a position like that. Now, you can have a dual allegiance and be in the country and do whatever you want to do and support immigration or whatever the case may be. But when it comes to being in a position like the head of the Congressional Black Caucus, we need somebody that's going to stand on business for Black America. You understand? And not advocating. And if we're going to talk about foreign governments, well, you know what? What are them foreign governments going to do to do some trade and some business within the Black communities? You understand what I'm saying? They don't even be talking about that. I can understand she's saying, hey, there's Jamaican companies that want to do a lot of business right here in America and directly in the Black communities. You never hear them advocating that. That would be actually good if they would start doing that. All of them with them dual allegiances in those positions, they never talk about companies or anybody from their homeland coming to do some business with us in the Black community. So why are you discussing foreign countries if you're not can't even benefit from the foreign country with hey, maybe we got some things in our community we can bring over there and do some trade within the diaspora, right? They don't do it. They're just advocating for their foreign flag and their foreign countries or immigration. And then, the other week ago when Sister Whitney was here on the stream and she was talking about them that fled, she would say there's no reason to flee. So I don't know why Yvette Clarke is even advocating for immigration when Whitney is right there in Kingston and saying there's no reason to flee. We good over here. We straight. That's why I have if y'all want to know, that's why if you're going to come do some work here for us, especially if you living outside the United States, if I'm bringing somebody on, you got to be on the soil. You can't be an immigrant here. Because you can't even give the proper perspective of what is going on in your homeland because you're here. A Jamaican American, they don't know what's going on in Jamaica, but unless a Jamaican is living there. A Nigerian American can't relate to nothing in Nigeria because he's not even there. And she talking about Jamaican heritage and all of that. Why didn't she take a trip to Jamaica and celebrate that over there? That's what I would do. If I'm going to celebrate Nigerian independence, I'd rather go do it in Nigeria. Well, but they got a big parade here for them in Houston. Because, you got a lot of Nigerians right here in Houston, a lot of Nigerians. And shout out to the Nigerians because, hey, I get nothing but love from Nigerians. I really do. Right here in Houston. Hey, you good with me? I'm good with them. They my brothers. That's my sisters, the Nigerians. But they never want to celebrate that over there. But that's fine. That's fine. They don't have to. But my issue is when you're in a position of power and you're advocating for foreign governments or you're talking about immigration that does not benefit Black America, FBA, does not benefit us, then we should have a problem with that. And we need to vote accordingly and say, okay, we can't have somebody that got dual allegiance in that position. We got to get you out of there. You can keep fighting for immigration if you want, just not in that position. We don't need you in Congress. No. You can go join immigrant rights groups and all that if you want. Go have fun with that. But you cannot be, as a Black person in that position, advocating for things that don't even benefit 43 plus million people. It don't benefit us. Immigrants, at least in the Black world, is a very small number. And check this out. If Black America is good and Black America is taken care of, that means Black immigrants is going to be taken care of too. Because whatever we get, minus reparations, whatever we get, they will benefit off of, like they're benefiting now, right? So it would be better to advocate to fix issues in Black America, and that way it benefits all Black people. But no, you want to advocate for immigration. You want to advocate. So that's why I'm saying we should not have people with a dual allegiance or an open dual allegiance. Because let me say this with balance. There's some first generation that grow up here and they realize, say, you know what? Nah, man, I'm more cultured to be Black American, and I'm going to fight for Black America. And you got some first generation people that feel that way, and I'm with them. I support them. They don't have a dual allegiance. Say, man, I've never even been over there. And then the time I did go, maybe one time they took me before, they didn't even recognize me as them. They said I was an American. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm American, whatever. Now those type, I'm with them. But people like Yvette Clarke with a dual allegiance, no, we got to get them. Listen, we got to get serious about our politics. Anybody have a dual allegiance cannot advocate for Black America, cannot advocate for FBA. They can't do it. So we have to take it upon ourselves, because we outnumber everybody that's Black as in this country. We need to get registered to vote. Like I told all of you need to be registered to vote. All of you need to participate in your local election. In your local election is your congresswoman like Yvette Clarke. That's a local election for you. And you need to start getting people out the paint that got dual allegiances. And let them know, if you got dual allegiance, you can't be in that position. You just can't, because we need somebody that's going to advocate for Black America. Listen, we got to have everybody on one accord in order for us to get what we need. And if we don't have everybody on one accord, this is why we don't get anything. And it's going to start by us straightening out the politicians and letting them know we will get you out just like this. You better fall in line if you're in them positions. Because we got to start telling them about you going to fall in line with the agenda what we set. We're not falling in line with no agenda what you set, the Democrats set, is what we set, or we going to get you out. And then some people can come in that's going to do the agenda that we set. That's the power move right there. That's the next step that we gotta do as Black Americans. But no, I don't believe we should have no one in a position of Congress, Senate, or any position that's advocating for a foreign flag or a foreign nation. No, because that is never beneficial to America, and for sure is not beneficial to Black America.